We'll be getting started here momentarily. So send out those last minute text messages, those phone calls. Let people know that tonight, right now, we have a very special, life-changing, transformational, inspirational, motivational call that will be taking place, VIP only. So invite all of your family members, all of your friends, all of your colleagues, all of the people that you care about and that you love should be on tonight's call. We'll be getting started here momentarily. Well, wow, guys. We are in for a treat tonight. The call is jam-packed. We have people from all around the world on tonight's call with Sankey Global. I am so honored. It is such a privilege and it is an absolute honor to be with you on this evening. We have someone who I'm going to introduce. Let me make sure I can bring her on first, please. Just give me one moment, guys. Thank you so much for your patience. I know she has her hand raised. If someone could assist me in bringing in our co-host for this evening, I'd greatly appreciate that. She has her hand raised. And if we could get her on the line, that would be super awesome, incredible, because I'm unable to see her hand, but she just texted me. Let me know if you see her. So tonight, we are tuning in from all over the world, from Africa to Canada to Jamaica to the Bahamas, all the way to Trinidad, Canada, guys, South Carolina, Florida, Georgia. We have people in California. We have people tuning in from Texas, Idaho, Arkansas, Arizona. Oh my goodness. I think we got some people on from Mars tonight. So they're from all over the world. People are excited and have decided to make Sankey Global a household name, a mission, a part of their movement, a part of their ministry in life. And we are so blessed to be here on this evening as the community of Sankey Global. And so big shout out to all of you that have carved time from your very busy schedule. We do not take this lightly, one iota, that you would spend your evening with us, that you would invite your friends, you would invite your family members, and you would invite your colleagues. And so without further ado, I'm going to bring on the line someone who is very special and dear and near to me. She is our international project manager. She is our international project manager here for Sankey Global. She is someone who has a great deal of experience with project management. She is also someone who has a lot of experience with dealing in international expansion and also marketing and advertising and branding and social media and entertainment and handling and offering a high level of infotainment with network marketing. I had an opportunity to meet her a year and a half ago when she first made Sankey Global her home. She is a woman of tenacity. She is a woman of she is a trailblazer, and she is on her way to touching 1 million families. When she came to be with us at Sankey Global and we sat down to talk about vision, her vision is huge, and we knew she would be a great fit for this job. And she said, I want to be a part of touching 1 million families over the next. So I want to bring on the line and introduce to some and present to others our very own international project manager, Miss Christina Duque. Take us away.
Wow, thank you, Dr. Helen. That was a great introduction. I almost forgot who you were talking about for a second. But welcome everybody to tonight's call. We have a very special edition call for you tonight, where we're going to be discussing the science behind Kronuit Fire, the technology, the formulas, the products, what they do in your body, how they're transforming millions of lives already all around the world, and how they could definitely transform your life and the life of everybody around you. So tonight, I'm super stoked to be here. I'm very honored, and I feel privileged to be able to bring up tonight's speakers. We have two very special guests. Not only did they create and cultivate everything that is Sankey Global and the company that we've all grown to love and appreciate and value so much, but they did it with the most selfless of intentions. I know when they get up here, they're probably going to give you a little bit of the details behind the history, the story of the company, how it took off, how they brought their idea into fruition, and how they started sharing it with the world. But to keep it in the simplest of terms, they basically woke up one day, they had an idea to heal nations. They wanted to go ahead and heal all the populations all around the world, help as many people as they possibly could. And they wanted to do that with science. They wanted to develop a product. Well, first, they wanted to find the healthiest people that they could in all of the lands. They wanted to find the most elderly people they could that were living the best, that were living the longest, because this company isn't only about the formulas and technology we have to help people and transform lives, but it's also about longevity. How long can we keep somebody thriving in their life and help them to accomplish their life's goal and their life's purpose, which is huge. I mean, before Sankey, I didn't really know personally what I wanted to do with my life. I knew that I wanted to be wealthy, I wanted to be healthy, and I wanted to be successful. And maybe somewhere along the way, I would make an impact on the world. But I didn't really understand what that meant for me, at the time. And as Dr. Helen said, I've been with the company now for a year and a half. And I could tell you wholeheartedly, from the bottom of my heart, that before I got here, I might not have known what my mission was in life. But after arriving at Sankey and witnessing the mission, the ideas, the values that we hold so dear in our company, a lot of those being Japanese rooted, the omotenashi, the giving before you take, and that really being the whole basis and consensus of everything we do here. Now I feel like I truly understand what my mission is. And at the same time, I could still be wealthy and healthy and successful. But just doing it in a way that I'm giving before I take. And I know that it's possible to be successful in doing that because they've already been doing it. Sankey is a global company and it's already thriving. Although we are fairly new in the United States market, they're already doing it. They're already changing lives. We have testimonials. It's backed by 50 years of science. We didn't begin this company overnight. It didn't start yesterday. Our scientific director and our global CEO and chairman, the two gentlemen you're going to be hearing from tonight, have really taken every step and every initiative that they possibly could to be able to spread this with people, and not only in a way where we retail the product, because we can do that and we could go e-commerce and, could be making a ton of money, but that's not what it was about for them. They truly wanted to transform the people's life that were involved in the company, and not only from a health, standpoint. Like, this company has a very lucrative compensation plan, everything we do, the way we promote people, our marketing teams, the events we put on, the calls we have. Honestly, the mission is everything. And like I said, in its most simplest form, their mission was to transform the lives of people all across the planet. And I know that they're succeeding because they've already started with mine. So without further ado, I am super honored, I'm super blessed, and I'm super thankful to present our speaker, our global CEO, the president and the chairman, Mr. Alejandro Lopez-Tello. Are you there, sir?
Yes. Hello, Christina. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Very good. I'm trying to open my camera. Can you please give me access to my video?
Yes, I was actually having a little bit of difficulties opening mine, so that's why it's not open right now. I had to log in on my phone, but give me 1 second. Let me see what I can do.
Yeah, well, honored to be here tonight with you. Now it's working. Thank you for that. And I'm super excited for being here with all the different states from the USA. There are people, as Dr. Helen was saying, we have people from all USA. Thank you for being here tonight. People from the Caribbean islands, Bahamas, Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, Aruba, and of course, Georgia, Florida, California, Nevada, Texas, New York, Illinois, and I'm sure people from maybe you can help me in the chat to know who also is there. I would really appreciate it. But thank you for your time tonight. As Christina was saying, 12 years ago, we decided to start this company with a huge dream, with a huge mission to help people extend their lives. We are really a company that has nanotechnology, nutrigenomics. We can truly impact the life of the people. I know that health is not everything, but when you lose your health, you lose everything. And that has been our focus. That has been our goal. How can we really honestly help you through technology, through biotechnology, improve the quality of your life, improve the all the internal processes that we have, all this biochemistry that is happening right now inside your bodies. Every single second of your life, there are millions or trillions of interactions between all these molecules that go to your cells. So I'm sure you have never heard about this type of technology. I'm sure it's the first time you're starting to listen about postbiotics, about metabolites, about the microbiome and about the microbiota. There are now some scientists starting to talk about it. We were the first ones to talk about it 12 years ago. And now is the opportunity in the USA and all the Caribbean to really take this opportunity and make it grow, make it happen, because it will grow, it will happen. I just arrived from South America. We just opened our operation in Peru. I don't know if you knew it, but we opened and we have our opening launch event last Saturday with a huge success. And we are super excited of what happened and what is happening in South America and in Mexico. And in the coming years, all the countries that we will be opening. And for that, all our distributors, all our leaders are very important. And the American leaders are super important to make this mission grow and to share the message of longevity, of really helping people extend their lives. Because I think we cannot give a better blessing to the people around us, to our family, to our friends, to all the community that has all the support, the clinical trials, the technology, the decades of research and development that now you have in your hands. And I'm really confirming that we're offering the best technology in the world, the best dietary supplements in the world. And that's what you have today, tonight, in your hands. So, Werner, the scientist behind all this vision, and that have the courage, that have the resilience, that have the passion and commitment to make all this research, to connect with the right scientists, to connect with the right people, to make this move forward, because it has not been easy. To discover something, to understand something that nobody understands, takes time, takes a lot of investment, takes a lot of money. And that's what this scientist has been doing almost all his life. So I had the honor to meet him 12 years ago in Tokyo, Japan. And during that trip, October 2009, we decided to open this company. And we discussed on how we would be doing it through a blue ocean strategy. So tonight, I introduce you with our Chief Scientist Officer, Dr. Brigitte Edeas. He's with us tonight, and he will be sharing a presentation around one of our technologies that is being used, or that are being used, because there are two technologies in this product in Kronuit. So thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Brigitte, for being tonight with us. And I know that you're good morning in Tokyo. I know that you're in Japan, and in the pandemic, Japan has been very, very strict. And now with these variants of the Omicron, I know that they are starting to take some actions and some decisions, as always, and they are very, very strict on how they are treating the pandemic. So thank you for being with us tonight, and for you tomorrow in the morning. You're on now Wednesday in Japan. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Alex, for this chance to connect with our beautiful community in the US market and beyond. I was hearing Dr. Ellen talking about everyone connecting from other markets from Aruba, from Caribbean, etc. So it's amazing, really, and thank you very much for Dr. Ellen for this chance to give me, and thank you, Christine, for all of your effort you are doing to share our knowledge and science with everyone in your markets. So today it's really interesting. We can visit the science of Kronuit and see how we started the science and where we are going to do it, Alex. So it's very nice to remind you that we met 12 years ago to start this collaboration. We didn't think at the start to what we are going together. I really met with Alex, and he has his own project, his own business, and we have the opportunity as a human to when we meet somebody in our journey to connect and share with them and show them what we are doing. And it's quite very challenging because if you go back in the time and you say we try to develop a product for longevity, it's really not very fashionable. People don't understand what this means. So it's quite very interesting. We started here in Japan, and this is bring us to Sankey. Two unique points. Number one unique point is we are in the most aged society in Earth. This morning, Dr. Ellen, they confirmed to me that almost 40% of Japanese are above 65. The number 40%, Alex, above 65. So you are saying half of the nation is above 60, 55 to above. This is the most aged population in the world. And the most aged population in the world means they have problems and challenges. They discover what is mean aging the first in the world. So they know what means waking up with pain, what means have articulation issues, have a memory issue, has cardiovascular issues or diabetes issue even. Because with aging, all of these problems come. And this is the unique point where we are growing. So the aging of the population is very, very moving very fast and leading the world into this. Same time, it's longevity. The number one longevity human in Earth is the Japanese, with the average longevity for the woman, it's strikingly above 87 years old, and above 82 years old for men. So this is the average. It means some people goes from 100 to 65, 70 as the international standard of a human. I think the international standard of a human is absolutely above. It's under 80 years old. Nobody goes easily above. You cannot say about international standard except for few countries. So what means somebody living 80 years old, or the man he has 80 years old? It's mean not he is staying at his hospital or at his home until 80 years old, because the Japanese, they don't accept, especially the man, to stay at home. So the man, he has his job until 65 years old to retire. He will negotiate with the company by telling them, oh, I changed, I make my color white, black, and you see I'm fit, so, and customers love me, give me another 5 years. So they go extend to 70 years old. And after 70, the man, he tried to find some job as consultant, as helping some business. So in reality, they never stop working. So if you say about somebody who never stop working, it means he must remain active. And this has become survival mode to be active. And this is, he cannot go and stay into some hospital to just extend his life. So this is quite unique characteristic of where we are growing. I think.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. That's what I've seen. It's amazing to be walking in Japan and to see people above 80, 85 driving a bicycle. running in the parks, doing yoga in the outsides of the city, in the outskirts of the city. I've seen it so many times, and also very interesting. Maybe because you live there, maybe now you're used to it, but the respect that the society has for these people is amazing.
Yeah. Now, a very interesting question, Alex, about that. And I think we never talk about this in any presentation with the Sankey team, is if the average person listening to us today, they will maybe say, this is maybe because they are Japanese, they are educated, they are polite, they are clean. So my question, do you think this is happening to these people and this longevity, and this is, they remain attached to remain strong until the end, and competitiveness? Do you think this is because they are Japanese, or do you think there is something else that make them doing so? And when I look at this question, I think, no, it's not because they are Japanese. I think they are because there is something happened in their system, in their body, into their health, that make that these people competitive. So it is not because of their culture, they are good. It's because I think their nutrition, it's because of this nutrition makes them tricking this game. And this is, as you know, if you want to correlate this longevity, yes, number one fish-eating woman in Earth is the Japanese woman. And the number one eating beans and soybeans diet woman in Earth is the Japanese woman too. So if you look at their diet, they have something inside this diet which is coming from the sea that trick this game. Average Japanese man today, the one who he don't care about his health, mid-age, you can say a salesman in some place, he must drink at least, even he don't like anything diet, he must drink at least 10-15 cup of tea, because he visiting the customers, having a meeting. At any place they are sitting, they must drink green tea. So we drink at least 1 liter of green tea a day without realizing, just to socialize.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think this is the chance that we wish to bring this condition, this style of life. And this is Sankey community. How can we bring this style of life to the people so they become healthy, walking in their legs, and does not being eating by this longevity?
Absolutely, and you're absolutely right. The way they drink the green tea is amazing, and because we're not used to, in this part of the world, to drinking so much tea. And usually the drinks, if we take water, usually it's cold water with ice, and also that's not very healthy. It's better to take room temperature water, or a warm water, like in a tea, because of the temperature.
Yeah, absolutely. This is for me personally, Alex, the things that always strike me, and not in the past and every day here, is the how these people above 80, 85, the centenarians, how they remain competitive, how they remain healthy, how they don't complain, how they remain having this memory. And I think I never succeeded to find a better word than cheating the destiny, cheating the game that predestined for them to become sick and remain active until their last days. So as one of them said to me recently, 100 years old woman anniversary, we sent her the flower, and she replied back to me that I'm living good my life, every day enjoying, and one day I wish to just die very fast and no suffering, and this is her wish. So if you look at this wish, it is very close to the young man of 20 years old, Safa, and living his life plainly, and he just say, I will live my life as long as it is. So they don't have this aged people mentality. They don't believe of their limits. So they have competitiveness, unbelievable competitiveness.
Yeah, amazing how they think.
So I think you saw it, Alex, when we meet at our labs. We have the doctor 79 years old. You met 5 years ago. Today he's almost 84, still coming to the company every morning, driving alone.
And driving. Of course, I still remember that he drives a sportive Lexus. Amazing with his wheels, the tires. It's amazing, and he has 85 years old. He's 85.
Yes, he don't think about stopping working, you know. And I think this is the luxury that we wish to bring to our American community. When I look, for example, I don't go often to the US, but when I look in Europe, what is the status of somebody after 75 years old? Frankly speaking, it's not very funny. A lot of medication, slow the mobility, staying at home or staying in senior house to be taken care of. It is not really honorable. There is no dignity for the human to finish this way. I think they never sign the human to finish this way. They sign in a picture that they have nice retirement with chimney, with family and peaceful life. They never signed of this, all of this suffering that nobody talk about, from the pain to the other things to side effect of medication to etc. So I think this is our really purpose, is how to bring this justice to the human who working hard in their life and expecting they are going to have nice retirement, nice second part of their life, and finally they just get the worst part of their life in the last part of their life. So I think we can reverse this trend and make that the human enjoy better the third part of their life.
Absolutely, and it's an amazing vision that you started some decades ago, and now we have the technology. Now we have the product, because apparently it's a very simple product, but in reality it's very complex. To really understand the secret to all of this is really complex because of the interactions between the microbiota, the metabolites, the human cells, the mitochondria. All these factors are playing at the same time, and to understand all this correlation, and we're still understanding it, has been a huge, humongous challenge. So yeah, it's amazing.
So I will start sharing, Alex, the document. We have the presentation today. Is this clear for you?
Yes, very clear. We can see it perfectly well.
So we will go over the origin of Kronuit project and what is our purpose from this technology. So first we will go over the human evolution part, where this issue of human diabetes, cardiovascular diseases come from, to the intermittent fasting that existed thousands of years ago, and how we tried with Kronuit almost 18 years ago to replicate such advantage of balancing the human microbiome. Then the clinical trial, of course. So I think this is very interesting point, you know, to go back into the past so we can reflect easily where we come from and where we are going. We talk often about the diabetes as a disease and non-curable disease or non-communicable transmissible disease, etc. But in reality, we can find it clearly that in nature, diabetes exists as an option of strength, survival mode. And this is the easiest animal we can see it is at the frog, but also we can see it in other type of animals. But at the frogs, several type of frogs, during freezing time, they simply produce a lot of amount of sugar. So plus minus, they become diabetes. So their organ is not going to freeze with cold, and the system shut down for months before reviving again. And this is show that the human developed such capacity to have additional sugar in their body, not because they are sick, but this is probably the hunters people who used to be out of their bases, going out for months for hunting, and in this case they will need to survive, and these people develop this gene of diabetes, develop this capacity to become diabetes. So plus minus, the ancestor of today's diabetes is the strongest one, not the farmers type ones who didn't need such safety insurance.
Very interesting.
So we can go almost, Alex. This morning I was be reminded that the some beans like the chibis was almost domesticated by the human 12,000 years ago. And I think if we go 12,000 years ago, when the humans start farming, start carbohydrate collection diet, at the same time, our ancestors, they have also the hunters, and these ones, they need a huge amount of sugar to be able to deliver such chasing, hunting a mammoth or animal or predators. And at the same time, they must sometimes survive without food for days or weeks. And in this case, without ability to have very good liver that produce the sugar, transform into sugar to increase these people will be frozen and will be probably lost in the ice age.
So what you're saying is that our livers produce the sugar. It's produced. The liver produces more sugar than the one that we take from the foods.
Absolutely, when it comes to diabetes, and you can talk with the diabetes people, they tell you, I didn't eat too much things, but my sugar is very high. So it is not really coming from diet only. There is another thing, Alex, happening also for. It's happened for the last 20 years, but nobody easily want to talk about it because it is not selling easily. We always talk about obesity and diabetes, and we discriminating the obese, even it is not really true. Obese also, they have less cardiovascular, less heart attacks sometimes than the thin ones. So for the last 20 years, humans start discovering thin and diabetes. And this is very strongly demonstrated in countries like India, where you have people who is very thin and they don't have enough even caloric diet, and they are diabetes too. So it is not about the calorie only we are taking. It's about something in the mechanism, something in the gut is not functioning. Some link is missing or has been corrupted, not doing the job anymore. So this is, I think, the point of the historical part. Now, if we see how the human evolved from the sugar industry, industrial revolution start in the 1840, if you want, something like this. And with this, there is the sugar cane coming into the market by end of the 19th century. So humans start really having the sugar shock by that time, 100 years ago. 120 years ago. By 1920, Batting, he discovered the insulin, and the insulin started becoming a solution for the human diabetes. Now, the insulin since 22 to next year, it's become anniversary 100 years. Now, there was some evolution in its production type in the 70s to become produced from yeast and not from the animals as it was used to be. And but except that, the solution is always the same. There is no evolution on it. Meanwhile, the humans move more and more. If you look for the last 100 years, people used to walk more to go to the job. They walk less. The cars revolution came and offered to every house a car, so nobody will move too much. The security of the human improved, and with the security of human improved, there is no need to have some peak of cortisol that burn fat, sugar very quickly. So the stress of the human evolved from external stress to internal stress. Meanwhile, the solution that we are offering, even today, I'm not talking about the past now, you can see that one of the most prescribed medicine in the world is the metformin, came in from France in 1957, which is still being used today. It's waited until 1995 to be allowed into the US market, by the way. So it is not as fast as we imagine sometimes. Similar for the insulin. In the beginning, here it's written 1922. It is not reality. Reality is until the 50s, 60s, it was starting to become rich people first solution, and then it's become democratized slowly. So it was not as efficient as we are thinking today. Then we have some other medication like the acarbose, which people take to reduce sugar absorption in the intestine. Come in 1990, not effectively in the market before 97. So you are talking about 20 years ago solutions. All of this time, this solution is not evolving, Alex. The human condition evolved, but the system, the medication we are taking and the diet is not following you. And this is where this problem is going to persist and become difficult to solve day after day. So it is not the issue. I think we are eating too much fast food. I think we are not eating other things besides this fast food that make this balance possible. And if we look at these things, the missing link, we will find immediately the microbiome factor, the gut probiotics, the gut bacteria, the body bacteria. And here we can see very clearly that everything related to the diabetes and is very linked with microbiome. Even the medicine we was mentioning, as you see earlier, metformin, if you ask any doctors today how it works, the main mechanism of action is it modulates microbiome. And if you check even Leptor, for the cholesterol, one of the most subscribed medicine in earth for the humans, it's also modulate microbiome. Acarbose, it does not work in slowly for the last 20 years because we discovered that the bacteria in human guts evolved acarbose resistance. So they learned that this is medicine will reduce food for some of microbiome like the candida. So the candida start fighting back these medicine and it's making less effective than before. So in reality today, the situation of diabetes, frankly speaking, is not funny at all. We give them additional layer above layer. And the doctors, he say, okay, I start with him with this, then we will escalate with this, and we escalate with this, and we escalate with it. In the meanwhile, we make them feel guilty by telling them, you mustn't eat this, you mustn't do that. And we bring them nutritionists who will tell him, you must cut the carbohydrate, you must cut the sugar, you must cut, it is nice, but in reality, we are not giving them tools to do all of this cutting and fighting. So when you realize that the bacteria inside our gut is controlling our brain, and when they want their sugar, they will push the human to do whatever needed to get this sugar. You can realize it's a human is in reality it's very not really in control of their body, of their situation. And this is why we need to bring support which is much stronger than just telling them don't eat this, don't eat that, because they have no choice.
Yeah, what you're saying is that these bacteria that we have in our guts, when they are in huge need of sugar, they make us humans do whatever it takes so we can get this
absolutely
sugar.
Absolutely, it's plus minus. It is like somebody is hijacked by some people in his house, and they tell him go and steal and bring us money, no more, no less. So no choice but to go to, as long as you have these guests at your home, the human have no choice but to obey. And now you can control the human by closing their fridge. You can put them in some situation where they don't have access to the food, and this has been demonstrated a lot of time. They start human, the one who is honest, they start lying, they start becoming nervous, they start developing a new habit it is drug. Bacteria make the human drug to deliver whatever they needed. And if we look in the next presentation, we can realize clearly that if you take the most hormones that make the human relax, like the serotonin, the dopamine, it's controlled by gut bacteria. So plus minus the compensation system of the human brain, it's controlled by these guts, by this gut microbiome. So if they are hijacked, they just in depression, how to be optimistic and tell them just smile. they are in clinical depression. You cannot just tell them they are smile. They don't realize they're unconscious. Their conscious is controlled by such microbiome. So what is the solution? It's simple as if somebody has bad guests at home. Number one, you break the fridge. Reduce the amount of hospitality at home. So they move out to look for another place. The human have done this through fasting. So when the human make this intermittent fasting for religious reason in the past, which is for me, it's beyond the religious reason. There is something smarter than human. Educate them that to get rid from such community of bad guests, we need to cut the food completely in everyone, starve everyone. So we move into this starvation phases that allow to reduce the community of these opportunistic bacteria like the candida and others like bacteroidetes that feed mainly in carbohydrate, not sugar even, carbohydrate, which is different from sugar. Refined sugar is even different. So each of these families control the guts, and unless the human is going to obey and bring the food, they will not make the human feel good. Simple as that. So the people is sometimes already have food. If you give them the healthy food, nice fish, nice meat, nice vegetables, but they still feel hungry. Meanwhile, the nutritionist will tell them, you must fill your stomach with some vegetables, and this is, you can eat as much as you could because no calorie, enough. But in reality, they will become crazy because they need to have these. Then it's not feed for the human; it's feed for the bacteria. And this is, I think, the point of this intermittent fasting and why it works, why it's improved immediately the body parameter from high pressure to other things in a very short period of time. This is when you eat from the others don't have. They have the ability to clean up this community by taking a sort of very oil, which is the very seafood like algae.
Fermented.
And in this case,
fermented food is also part of their diet.
Yes, absolutely. This is the diet that will offer to other community of in our guts. One decides all of the walls of the guts of surface to cover their own function and their own food. The problem coming from the opportunistic one. So in plus minus, let's be very clear. It's not so far from a human relation. Some people come to your life and bring their toxic relation with them in your relation. But if you give them more space, they disturb everyone.
Yeah. And you were also saying in the previous slide that all these prebiotics and these the pro and prebiotics work only 2 or 3 times because then it becomes resistant. As we're seeing now with the COVID, the new version of the COVID is more resistant than the previous ones because of the vaccines. So in this case, because I'm saying this because the American market is full of probiotics. Now they have probiotics in all types of products. You go to the supermarket and they have pre and probiotics everywhere. And what you're saying is that they really just work in the short term. They don't work in the long term. And we're focused on the long term, meaning longevity.
The issue of the probiotics, Alex, it is very tricky word to say. If you take the majority of the probiotics you can buy today in the US market, origin of these probiotics is dairy industry, milk industry, which is started first from France, Italy, the most producing cheese countries in the world. If you take all of the probiotics origin coming from these 2 countries, companies make factories to produce these probiotic for the cheese guys. And then we discover it is also can work for the human. They understand that they can make more money from the human side than the cheese side. And in this case, this probiotics has been targeted for human health. Now, the problem of cheese bacteria, probiotics from yogurt is nice. It is kind, but it is not the one really that is going to kick the bad guys out of your stomach. They are not enough strong to fight back. That's why they do cheese. That's why they do milk. That's why they can just create aromatic products, but they don't, to be able to fight. For example, if you take the centenarians, the people who lived 100 years, and we know that they have super immunity, and these people, number one bacteria living in their intestine guts is the E. coli, Alex, the Escherichia coli. It is very poisonous bacteria, So when people say there is the good one and the bad one, which one is good and which one is bad? In reality, no, it's good and bad is not the problem. There is another things we must talk about is the strong and the weak. And there is no comment. Is bacteria coming from cow origin is weak one. It's not programmed to fight back such pathogens, such candida. How you can beat it's candida is like you are talking about a guy with a lot of muscle and a lot of knives, and you bring him a kid coming from cheese industry to kick him out of the house. It is impossible. It does not work. They actually use them to produce more. They take them as a slave, plus minus. This is how the science of microbiome actually works. Candida is more sophisticated than we think. They can employ other bacteria to do their job while they are sleeping.
No, and for me, all of this means opportunity, because today, not just in the US market, the probiotics value, the value of the market is billions with products that are mainly coming from dairy products, from cow, from milk, as you say, from cheese. And at the end, they don't work. And that's not only the probiotics. Let's go to other dietary supplements, and the majority don't work they don't have the really the understand the way they have been developed and the way they are being produced have no impact on your longevity, on your immunity, on your health in the long term.
It is very, very tricky, Alex. It's this is sometimes when I'm travel these days, I took the flight and it's remind me with something, this is like you're asking somebody now, do you think knife can cut? And if we have knife, we can cut with this. And you say, yeah, absolutely, it's undeniable that probiotic works. It's undeniable that knife cuts. The problem, if you give the person a plastic knife, still it's knife, but it's plastic. Good luck to cut meat with the plastic knife. It's very difficult to cut meat with the plastic knife, but it is still knife. It's still called the probiotics, but it is plastic quality. It does not cut too much far. You can cut with it a piece of bread, but you cannot cut with it a piece of meat. You cannot, it is too weak to fight what we are supposed to do. This is the tricky part of the marketing of the probiotics. So somebody listening to us and they say, no, they are saying it's not true. Probiotics from cheese, from anything, it's very good for her. Yes, absolutely. Same as a plastic knife. It's very good. But for your, if you want to succeed in your life, you cannot succeed with a plastic knife. Neither can protect you, neither can cut the meat, neither can cut anything. You need to have strong iron knife. And strong iron knife is not sold easily in the market today. This is the reality. We promote the iron knife, we put it in the front, and then we deliver to the people plastic knives. And then we tell them it is your mistake. You didn't know how to choose the right product to cut. Try to cut something soft. Try to be marshmallow. If you are marshmallow, plastic knife is okay. But the problem is the guy who has a problem with his diabetes, he cannot work with it. You need to have very strong solutions, and very strong solutions, they must take out these difficult difficult microbiome that stuck inside. And actually the word is very stuck. They use advanced film technology that the human still try to learn how to copy from this candida, which means allow them to stuck like a glue inside the walls. So to take them out from there, a lot of antibiotics even is not efficient for that. You need to have a community of other crazy strains of bacteria to take them out from their place.
Yeah, this is amazing. I hope to all our distributors tonight that they are taking notes, and I would like to see in the chat some of your comments of what you're now understanding about your guts and this microbiome and the microbiota that is inside you. Please share some comments here in the chat. I would like to see what you're thinking of all these examples that Dr. Ideas is giving to all of us, so we can really understand in a very simple way how this is working inside our bodies. So please share some of your comments while we're moving forward. So this is amazing, Doctor.
So this is the solution for us, Alex. It was very simple. We have in our guts very undesirable guests that cannibalize the system. The classic solution is burning the house, which is very damaging, or cutting the fridge access to the food. And this is the choice we choose, is how can we starve these community of microbiome that need to eat bread a lot, and they need a lot of carbohydrate in permanent. If you take the diabetes people, they have issue of constipation all of the time. Think about it. Why they have this issue of constipation? Even if you give them fiber sometimes. This colony of bacteria, they want 24 hours buffet open. So they want to keep the food as much as possible around. Unless the humans start pushing with the new food, they will not release they can control the muscle of the guts to keep the food as much longer as they are too much smart. This is the difficulties we have as a human, difficulties to accept that we are fighting very sophisticated enemy, too much smart, that the only way at the end is just ban the house. And ban the house is the medication we are taking, which means to reinstall it again. After one shot of antibiotics, it takes at least 6 months to restore the system back again, So it is not easy to go for this final solution of the antibiotics. So we need to have something that slowly, every day, washing, showering these bad ones, and at the same time, giving hands to the strong one to fight them back. So a human in reality cannot do nothing. We must help the strong good one for us and to take out these strong bad ones.
Wow. Yeah, this is amazing. And now we're getting into the Kronuit fire way of working. And now from all these concepts, how this is now through our technology and our products, how are we attacking all these issues?
So if we take if we talk about the Kronuit from its composition, Kronuit, it has inside it the watch and the chronobiology, synchronization. So this synchronization, I move directly to what it contains, Alex. We try to, from the beginning, people thought that we want to bring some antioxidants because the product looks like antioxidant. But in reality, we really don't care about antioxidants. Humans take antioxidants from nutrition, from anything. Body produce antioxidant enzymes. It is not really our primary things. What we try to find is some compounds that when we add them to this community of in the guts, they can, number one, confuse some type of bacteria like the candida ones. Confuse is the word, and not destroy, because it does not really destroy them, but it can confuse them. It can confuse their receptors. It can disrupt the film producing capacity. So the other microbiome in this huge colony can attack them and reduce their numbers. Simple as that. So when we use the rosmarinic we didn't really interest by the rosemary itself completely. We just interested by two components into the rosemary, the rosmarinic acid and the carnosic acid. So these two molecules, if you look at their when we fix them together, they can stuck to the several type of microbiome. They can stuck to the food and confuse the bacteria not to eat such food. So it's make the food useless for these bacteria. Now, this type of way of thinking, if you go back 20 years ago, everybody tried to think it is good to eat, but nobody think about this antibiotic food to eat. Nobody thinking that, so why the green tea is good for health? Yes, it is reducing these type of bacteria. So you reduce the bad type of bacteria, and in this case, giving the body more chance to do their job themselves. Simple as that. And for the other component, like the hydroxytyrosol from the olive, it's the same thing. It's mainly component that can help some type of bacteria in the guts to fight back. So absolutely, our solution is try to simulate the fasting. How can we reduce the amount of food so the system can rebalance itself, restructure itself? here we can move to the other issue we have with the obesity, with the diabetes, which is the inflammation. So this inflammation is not only at blood level. Sometimes as a marker we can test with the PCR protein, etc. But mainly it's at the adipocyte, at the fat level. It's at cellular level of the body. There's this inflammation, this chronic inflammation that develop, and we try to break this cycle of inflammation by inducing it through this diet, through this Kronuit. And this can happen by mainly gene expression. It's not the bioactive. And this is why when we talk about Sankey nanotechnology, people was thinking, why nano? Why you need, it's going into the blood and going everywhere. And reality is to be able to connect at the gene expression in the guts, where is the majority of the inside the gut, it has this shape. It has all of the receptors, all of the antenna. The most effective shape, the most effective pharma is the small molecules, and the small molecules, it's at nano size. And in this case, we are able to engage the receptors and activate them to reduce this fire. Plus minus, we reach for the fire hose in the house to reduce this fire which happening in the body. And this inflammation is plus minus is cooking a human body. If you ask me what means diabetes today, is somebody who is cooked at very low temperature. So this cooking destroys slowly the cellular level until the organ will shut down. So it is not one shot fire, it's a slowly fire. And this is very important that we reduce it. So our parameter here, as you see, we don't talk about the sugar directly. I'm not talking, we try to bring product to reduce sugar and something. It is not our issue, the sugar. Our issue is the side effect of the sugar, of this caramelization that happen inside the body. And if the patient have no caramelization, this sugar does not caramelize, the human can remain healthy without too much needs. But the problem happen when this inflammation keep pushing the body to destroy its cellular level slowly. So the obesity or the diabetes, we can call them inflammatory disease today. It's about inflammation, and we need anti-inflammatory diet. And if you take Kronuit as a diet, its number one functionality on it, beyond balancing this microbiome, is this inflammatory diet and reducing the inflammation at the whole body, not just one shot something. It is not the caffeine type of solution,
Yeah, there are many products in the market that are focused on reducing weight. It's all about weight loss. So there are, I think, thousands of products around weight loss that are being sold in retail stores, nutrition stores, in multi-level marketing business models. And the mechanism of action of those products is really different from what you're saying. What you're saying is that our molecules inside Kronuit are at the nano level. We're talking about virus level, that size, really small. And that's why we use nanotechnology just as a carrier, a very small technology, just to, let's say, encapsulate these molecules that are the ones that can make the gene expression change inside our bodies. So the molecule that, or all these trillions of molecules that the Kronuit has, are encapsulated in nanospheres, just to carry all these molecules to produce the right gene expression.
Absolutely.
That's why we say this is nutrigenomics. So the mechanism of action of this product is completely different. And that's what I'm saying all of this because you just said the caffeine, because there are many products weight loss products that have all these ingredients to maybe even reduce water, and then you will see a weight loss very fast.
Fastest is water, yeah.
And to do other things that are in some way very different in the long-term result.
Yeah, this is a lot of solution in the market that does not have this long-term solution. So short-term solution, you lose water, suck all of the water from the body, you can get at least a few kilos down immediately. It looks more slim, etc., etc., etc. The problem is all of this. We just with such short-term solution overuse the body, reduce its longevity. Our aim at the end of the day as a Sankey research is how can we keep this human in good shape as longest possible, because this is what the human need. They don't need that they will decline later on. And we can accept, Alex, to buy a fridge that in 10 years, this is what I learned recently, that I moved into a house here 10 years ago, and even in Japan, they said that the human invented the machines, appliances that need to replace something in 10 years. This is the time, so it make it easy for maintenance. So, when you buy some new fridge, in 10 years of use, it will need maintenance or use. So they start adding inside some sort of alarm to avoid, to tell that it needs maintenance. And this is, I can accept it into the washing machine. But in terms of our health, imagine we are selling to the people solution that in 10 years, they are going to pay it more expensive because they damaged this organ or they damaged their blood circulation. If you look at the Sankey, when we started from the first time, Alex, we used microcirculation device to show the microcirculation and bring awareness about microcirculation. The only organ that the human saying now that will not be able to replicate, to 3D printing, to make reconstitute, it is easier to make the heart, but the microcirculation, these vessels is very, very complicated to change and repair. And if they are damaged, it's not easy to repair them back again. So our aim is we need to keep the canalization of the human system as intact and good quality for next stage of human life, not to abuse them immediately.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this is thinking in the long term for our wellness, for our well-being. And that's very important. And nobody talks about it. We're looking just for short-term solutions, and we don't stop to analyze if this will have a long-term impact, negative impact in our lives. Fantastic. And Kronuit at the end modulates this inflammation.
Absolutely. This brings us to this inflammation. So it has very strong gene expression, epigenetics, which is the most smart mechanism. It's normally used in pharmaceutical products. Such technology, it's not used in a food supplement, Alex. So we are bringing a very clear mechanism of action that we can quantify, that we can test clearly, that we can know exactly how it works, and it will work in every person, not from time to time. Some people will work or not work. So our aim is to reduce this fire, this inflammation inside the diabetes or the average human, stressful human. And here, it is not in our presentation, Alex, but if you take about, when we move, for example, for the component, if you take the ingredient like the green tea we are using, okay? One of this main ingredient we are using in the TOG, green tea polyphenols, it's people talk a lot about the catechin, the UCGC that it can reduce the stress, make human less stressed. And this is when humans have stress, they have more cortisol. And cortisol, stress hormone, prepare the human to fight, prepare the human to run. And in this case, a lot of sugar need to be circulated in the body immediately for brain and body use. But in reality, humans are sitting in the chair and they're having stress at home or at work. And in this case, all of the sugar must be stored back again. And this is make imbalance. And if we can reduce this chronic stress, chronic cortisol at the people body, we can help to avoid such alarming preparation for a fight that will not happen. The body need to calibrate, and still it takes more evolution for the human to be able to do that. So yeah, I think with Kronuit, with this high dosage of catechin inside, we are helping the body to reduce its stress. Here you can see the plantation we have in Shizuoka. You visited this plantation, and I hope you can travel to Japan as soon as possible, because everybody is always asking about you. Where is this people from Mexico, when they will come to visit us, etc. So it's family managed by Japanese family business, which we know very well, and producing organic tea. I remind it very clearly. So the Sankey used organic grade catechin in our composition. Now, this polyphenol, this green tea, when it's going to modulate the human gut bacteria, and this is making it much, much better than, frankly speaking, 99% of probiotics sold in the market. Because number one, it's going to reduce some type of opportunistic bacteria like the Helicobacter pylori, the H. pylori, which is can cause ulcers, can reduce candida, but at the same time can improve the communication between the microbiome itself. And this can easily being measured by the way people start feeling less hungry after taking Kronuit.
So you're saying that there's a communication between the bacteria, they speak between themselves. They
Absolutely.
have a way of communicating.
Absolutely. This is, the bacteria, Alex, evolved for the last 4 billion years. Human body evolved for the last 200,000 years. So they have more advanced than human in terms of evolution. A human was always very slow in terms of evolution. So when I say evolution, it's not that the human can fly or can swim. No. If you take in terms of social interaction, if you take, for example, the human communities, look to just the last few years, we start talking about mindfulness and how the human must collaborate to each other. This way to bring the human to work together, still it is not really practical way. We talk about teamwork, but it's not still working yet, because humans don't have the tools how to work together with people who don't know, people who they don't like, into a common share. The bacteria, on the other hand, they are very, very sophisticated. They can work with their enemies to produce some food. They can exchange some food for some food. They can exchange some service for some service. They can hire some bacteria, pay them with some food type or some metabolites type, and in exchange they attack their enemy. So when you are saying that how the medicine works, it is really not working as simple as we say. It goes first through this gatekeeper. And through this gatekeeper, they have very complex language. And this is the language that they can exchange together. And this is where we must trick them to understand what we want. So wow. It is very, very complicated. And if you ask any probiotic producing company in the world, how your product interact with other existing. When you say we take something and it works, how they can communicate with the existing things, how you can say you can bring somebody from outside my house into my house and they can make my food in my kitchen. How it happens? It does not happen in a human simple life. Can you imagine in the microbiome life? Unless they have a mechanism, it does not work, or unless they are stronger. And in this case, they push them to obey. This is what they equally doing, which is the human have difficulties to use it.
Wow, this is amazing information. I don't know if all our members tonight are really understanding the power of all this knowledge and how we need to share all of this information, because nobody's talking about it. And we have a huge opportunity in our hands. We have a huge power with all this knowledge. And as I said at the beginning of this conference, we're really a different company. We're the basis, the foundation of all this knowledge, technology, and now products that today you have in your hands is completely different from what you have already heard. I know that you have heard and taken many different products, many medicines, many drugs, many dietary supplements, probiotics, prebiotics, antioxidants, multivitamins, multi-minerals, etc. And this is completely different because we're finally understanding what is happening inside our guts and how these guts change our lives, literally, in a positive or negative way.
Yeah, this is the issue of health. You know, it's we are talking like the human is a sort of shelf, and we can add something or take something out. And in reality, it's all interconnected. And for this interconnection, it goes beyond our control. So either we try to understand how can we communicate with this sophisticated system, or we just suffer it, which is what everybody plus minus doing. I think nobody is going to ask their doctors, the medication you are giving me, it's going to, if my brother takes the same thing, it will not work for him the same thing as for me. Take the medication for the woman and man. We discover now that because microbiome of the woman different from the microbiome for man, women has much stronger microbiome than men. It has been scientifically proven, you know, and demonstrated. Woman does not need the same dosage of medication same as man. It can work at less dosage than as man. So this understanding of the microbiome of the guts, it's everything. It's the gatekeeper that will allow it works, not works, take it, no take it. And this is what I think that the awareness that I wish we bring to our members, because with this gut knowledge, with this probiotics knowledge, with this microbiome knowledge, they can tailor themselves, their needs, their medication, their things, they start feeling, having awareness of their body.
Absolutely. Absolutely amazing. I agreed. So
when it comes to the clinical trial, and this is I really wish to insist on it. At Sankey, all of our product has been tested in human, not in vitro. We are not producing our products in some OEM company who we tell them put me this and put me that. We start from all our ingredients, because originally we are producing ingredients. We are not end product producer. I remind it, Sankey is not really they didn't started as a end product producer. We started as ingredient producer. So we produce our own ingredients, and that's why we are at the plantation level. From the tea to the olive to the all of our ingredients is produced by us. We are not buying them from some suppliers. So we need, when we know, we take such do such formulation to test the efficacy, and we do all of this clinical testing to validate that these products will work. And this is one of the clinical trial, 40 people aged 24-65, which is our target consumers. And here we can see very clearly how the products can improve parameters. Now you can tell me, it's reduced the LDL just 6.7%. It's not too much. If it's not about the volume we can reduce immediately, is how can we reach a very good balance? How can we make this balance achieved by the body itself? It's not we are adding battery inside the system to do it. We need the body to auto-generate itself, auto-regulate itself, auto-balance and calibrate itself. So this is not human pushed solution to improve things and make it like a student who cheat and get results very quickly, fast. We need to establish a system holistically to get the results.
Which is the basis of homeostasis, this capacity of the body to heal itself.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is a school different from the school where people are saying, this is something super ingredient or super formula or super something, and it's going to do this and going to do that. The problems is, yes, you can stand beside somebody and push him to go faster, but how long you can sustain? Nobody talk about the sustainability, Alex. This is the people who has diabetes, the people who need to have good health. It is not about being healthy this week or this month. It's a month after month after month. And how can we bring, it is very difficult. And that's why people criticize us. And you remember it always. They say, it's very strange why they don't have a lot of other products. They only have a handful of products. It is really very difficult to bring some product that you can take every day. It can bring imbalance. It's like I'm telling you, you must drink this milk cup every day. You after 1 week, 2 weeks, you become bored. Your guts no longer needs these bioactives. You cannot eat meat every day. You become saturated. You cannot drink some supplement, vitamin C every day. It's make minus in the other side. Plus is minus, minus is plus. So this calibration, this is the chronobiology, I think, that we must respect, and the chronometers. And that's why our symbol of chronometer is not a logo some designer choose. It's about the timing. You can do the things to succeed. This is a super complicated human watch that you cannot just add things when you want. It must be at very chrono managed, So
yeah,
it looks simple.
And the people, this is amazing information, because I've been taking our products for 12 years nonstop. Every day I take all our products, and you don't get tired of them. And what you're saying is because of your gut. The gut is accepting, this microbiota is accepting these molecules that come at the nano level, and you don't feel saturated. And people are asking, and I'm not obese. I don't have diabetes. I don't have these issues of weight loss. And people are asking right now, if you're thin, if you're fit, if you work out, can you take the Kronuit Fire every night? This needs, the Kronuit replaces the need for fasting? The answer is yes, in both questions. But
absolutely,
I follow you.
Even Alex, if you take young people today, okay, we are not. When I tell you we do aging, we know everything about aging and human aging. Take for example, we work very clearly with a glass manufacturer, the top ones in Japan, in Europe, etc. If you take the statistic about using the glasses, it has been dramatically dropping for the last 10 years, from 44 years old average human needed the glasses to 40. So very soon, by 2022, human in their 30s averagely 39 will need to have glasses. It means the human body is overused. Now, can be, you can tell me immediately, all of these small screens, even you can call it large screens. This is making, yes, the overuse of the eyes, and in this case, there is more inflammation in the eyes, and in this case, the eyes need to have anti-inflammatory support to reduce their inflammation. Same thing for pain. Look at these days, young people. Dentists told me clearly that recently they don't understand if it is the COVID or what, but a lot of young people have pain in their teeth. And the dentist tell me when I check the teeth, it has no really, teeth is good. This is young teeth. So where is the pain come from? It's coming from the gum. So he said to me, this person is very stressed and the concentration of inflammation come in the gum. And in this case, suddenly they start feeling pain in their teeth. So I think it's not about, when we talk about aging, it's not the number of age of years. It can be the condition of life we are living,
Yeah, absolutely. And the question here is that Kronuit can replace the need for fasting. The answer is yes. If you're already thin, would you lose more weight with a product? The answer is no, you will not lose more weight because of the mechanism of action of all of this. This is intelligent. Maybe you can explain it in a different way, but for me, I insist on this. I don't lose weight taking Kronuit every single night, every single evening, and I don't need to lose weight, and I don't lose weight, but I take Kronuit Fire because it also works for way more things than just losing weight. And if I don't need to lose weight, my system doesn't send the message of losing weight. My microbiota.
The interesting part, Alex, is still in Kronuit. If you talk about the inflammation we are talking about, which is in front of us, to be able to lose weight, if you remember, when we are in our 20s until mid 30s, when we don't have food for some reason, for 2-3 days, suddenly we feel that we lost weight. So when we are young people, you simply starve little few days and you can reduce your weight. And after that, it depends of your style of life. Then after 40s, people lose this ability to do it. And even if they are starving, they don't lose weight. And I think this is an issue of inflammation. If the adipocyte, the fat cell, is inflamed, whatever we do, they will not release the fat outside because it's going to damage them. So reducing the inflammation, if you're saying somebody, if we have two subjects, one is taking the Kronuit and one is not taking the Kronuit, and suddenly they go through calorie reduction or sports or gym suddenly, who is going to lose fat faster? Absolutely the one who is taking the Kronuit, because the inflammation is less and it works. This is not only Kronuit who is doing that. Before, in the 70s, 80s, a lot of doctors, especially, the clinics doctors, like in Germany, in Switzerland, they use Alex to give to the patient, like celebrity actor, etc., high dosage of vitamin C. Like every day, we talk about 5 to 6 grams, which is a huge, this is make the body, they get diarrhea absolutely as side effect, but it's reduced the inflammation because this is infused in the body finally. And by reducing the inflammation, these people are able to trigger weight loss. Then they move to make cocktail. It depends of the doctors. It depends of how your style, this is like chef. Vitamin C and aspirin. And the target was always how to reduce the inflammation, of course, as long as they don't damage the stomach of the patient. So that's why they cannot take it for a long time and must be supervised by the doctor. But they give them high dosage of aspirin to reduce their inflammation. Without reducing the inflammation, the body will not kickstart. Same thing for the liver. If you want the liver, we say the liver can regenerate. But to regenerate, you need to reduce the inflammation to some extent. So our aim is not sculpting the people body, but give them the choice. In case you are going to start walking 30 minutes a day, with the Kronuit, you will have much better chance to get rid from excess fat than if you don't. And that's why our title was, why humans don't lose fat, why we don't lose weight. With inflammation, the body will retain as much as possible the fat and the water. And that's why we call the inflammation a small fire in the body. It needs to retain these fat and water to protect the cell from damaging.
Well, it's a very good way to explain it. And in this clinical trial, we're just confirming with this marker, the C-reactive protein, there's a huge reduction of 40% reduction in the C-reactive protein, which is a marker of inflammation.
Absolutely, absolutely. So this is, now after that, if you tell me some people at our community, our members, they will take this because they want to lose fat, but some people, they want to improve their kidney function. Some people, they want to improve their fatigue, the inflammation is the main platform that can make the human healthy or unhealthy. If you want to make a checkup to know this man at 60 years old or 40 years old is healthy or unhealthy, they make immediately the inflammatory biomarker. There is balanced inflammation. There is no serious problem. This is the cheapest checkup in us. Inflammatory blood check, PCR test, CRP test for inflammatory. And we are working, how can we bring such tools to Sankey Lounge in the next years to be able to move forward and show such inflammatory biomarkers for the people so they can realize quickly what's happening in their body and take awareness of learning about themselves and about the advantage of taking such solutions.
Yeah, and talking about the lounge, we're about to get to the conclusions. We just started our first lounge in the USA in Houston, Texas, near the Galleria. We're super excited because this month our Houston lounge just started, and in that lounge we're showing the microcirculation through our microscanners. We're sharing the product. We're inviting our distributors to invite their customers, other distributors, other leaders that want to understand all this knowledge, all this information in a very simple way. And for me, the simplest is just to see your microcirculation, how it improves in just 15 minutes after the intake of our products. That is massive. That is absolutely a wow effect, because you're seeing how your body is really working. And as you say, the micro vessels are really difficult to replicate, and it would be, as of today, impossible to be printed by a 3D printer, as they can print today a heart, a kidney, or other organs. But as of today, it's impossible to replicate a micro vessel. And with our products, we're changing that microcirculation at the micro vessels level.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Impressive.
Absolutely, Alex. Frankly speaking, the medication, we know it today, the medicine, we know it today, is going to improve dramatically for the next years. I'm not talking about the next 20, 30 years. I'm talking about the next 3-5 years. In 5 years' time, by 2025, Alex, the level of medication is going to be really completely different level of what we have today. The research we are having, the budget that has been used for the COVID research is making everybody upgrading whatever they done before. And eventually the human will, when they have diabetes or high blood pressure, will not have the same medication as we have now. New generation of medication will make the human living much better and longer. This is absolutely will happen. The things that we must, as a Sankey, contribute to this is when the man is going, or the woman going to be 50 years old, and they have very nice medication, but their body is already damaged and it cannot be reversibly improved, all of the money of the world will not help these people. Even the billionaires will not be able to come back and have a new microvessel system. You can have a new generation of high blood pressure products. I agree with you. But to maintain this system, these eyes vessels, these microcirculation in the kidneys, you talk about thousands of kilometers. You cannot exchange them. You cannot 3D print them, neither now, neither for the next 100 years. And even the most optimistic people, they know that it will not be able to. So our aim is to deliver the human. How can they at least maintain their good shape of their body from the inside, their system, because it will not be easy to replace.
Absolutely. You're absolutely
personally
right.
I'm very passionate about all of the startup, Alex, that about the regenerative medicine. And recently people celebrate that they transport organ from big genetically modified pig to the human, etc., etc. And this is really not easy and complicated, and it's the people who must do it will live with must take other medication to suppress the immunity, etc., etc. But it is very far from our lifetime. People listening to us today, it will not come in their lifetime to replace organ easily like this. So the only choice we have is to maintain it in very good quality.
Dr. Jueves, thank you for tonight. Thank you for this amazing conference. The level of the information is really, I'm sure everybody that has been with us tonight can confirm this. This is top level information, top level knowledge. I would like to see your comments. We're about to finish this conference. We have a surprise, a great surprise for you, but please send me your comments so I can read them to Dr. Jueves before he leaves. I hope you can take action and at least send some messages here through the chat, because we're finalizing this conference, and maybe we can share some comments to Dr. Jueves and how this has been an amazing night with all this information.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very much, Alex, for this.
You can now stop sharing. If you can stop sharing the presentation, so we can give our microphones to the next to conclude this. But thank you for everybody being here tonight. Thank you for believing in our mission, in our products, in our technology, in our leaders, in our corporate team that is working really, really hard in the US market, so we can really penetrate. Because what I've seen is the US market, as maybe none other market in the world, has thousands and thousands of products and companies, and there's a lot of noise. For me, there's a lot of noise that is not easy to penetrate, because that noise, as you were explaining, the gatekeeper is difficult to penetrate. So with all this noise, with all these products, with all these MLMs, with all these companies, I think that the majority out there thinks that we're just another company that is selling through multi-level marketing another dietary supplement. And today, super, super clear that we're a different company, that we have different technology, and that we have a message and knowledge that needs to be shared with everybody out there, with the millions and millions of people that just live in the USA and that have no clue what is really happening inside of them, and that are daily taking products. They go to the supermarkets, they go to multi-level marketing companies, they go to nutrition companies, and they have absolutely no clue of what is really happening inside their guts and how this is impacting their lives, their longevity, their wellness at the end. And I think that through this pandemic, we're more conscious of the importance of our wellness, of our health, and we're now at least with the pandemic, in a common ground, at the same level between the poor and the rich. And I would love, Doctor, to send a conclusion to all our members tonight that are really now sending a lot of messages here through the chat. Thank you for your information, and thank you for your messages to all our leaders and distributors tonight. Doctor.
Thank you very much, Alex, for this chance. My gratitude to you, number one, gratitude for giving us the ultimate happiness for us is being able to spread our knowledge and share it with others. You give me this chance. All of my gratitude to Dr. Ellen and all of the team, and to every distributors and leader of Sankey products. We are doing our best. That this is the best product that you have in your hand. We are doing our best, and very stressed that the people who is intaking our product, they will have better life, better future, better health. It is a responsibility for us, and thank you with all the gratitude of our teams for making this happen, delivered, and done every day. We believe a lot in the future of Sankey. Sankey is a family for us. It is not a business for us. It's a family, and the community of Sankey people is very important for us. We are working very smartly to bring the next stage solution, next stage technology. Alejandro is a super architect and super engineer to engineer the next evolution of the business model. We want it to be different, not to be unique for us, but to be different for bringing an advantage for everyone. Thank you from my heart for this chance.
And to conclude, we don't want to be the fastest growing company in America. We just want to be the best. And that's what we are. And now it's your time, your moment to share this with all the people out there, because we really need to take massive action to step up and to really create a breakthrough in the American market that really needs it, because it's not an easy situation what the majority of the people are facing around their health, their wellness, and their longevity. So thank you for everybody being here tonight, and I leave the microphones back to I think it would be Jose Manuel Arvide with us tonight. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you. Good morning there, and see you hopefully very soon.
Thank you. Muchas gracias. Thank you, Alex. Thank you for everyone. Thank you, Jose. Thank you, Dr. Ellen. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Christina. See you soon.
Thank you, because we will be celebrating our 12th anniversary of the operations of Sankey. 12th anniversary now on February the 26th. We're preparing a big event, a Sankey global event on February the 26th. So please block your calendars, block your agendas, because we will have a lot of surprises at this global event that will be taking place in a couple of months. So thank you, blessings here. And Jose Manuel, please the microphones, or Dr. Helen. I don't know whom will be close
Thank
to
you.
you. Thank you.
I'm going to go ahead and close this out. Thank you guys so much. Wow, wow, wow. That was a tremendous call. I learned so much every time I hear you guys speak. It was absolutely incredible. So I just want to start off by saying that I commend you guys for everything that you're doing. And I think we can all go ahead and give a virtual round of applause to our scientific director and our global CEO. Thank you guys for everything. There's been so many people in this chat, literally coming in from all over the world. We've got Canada, Jamaica, Trinidad, Texas, Bahamas. Before we end this call and tell you guys about the very special surprise that we have in store for you, I just wanted to reference a couple that I saw. Give me 1 second. I can't find it now because there's so many coming in, but I saw somebody mention that this is beyond Harvard University and Johns Hopkins and any information that could be delivered there. And it's so true, because I feel like when you're dealing with huge corporations, a lot of these corporations that are red ocean are really driven by the profit, by the money. And even though, as I said earlier, Sankey definitely has the ability to do that and transform lives, and it could be so lucrative, the intentions are pure. And what we're doing here, we are changing lives. And I took a bunch of notes tonight, and something that really stood out to me was when Dr. Adea said that we could create a heart, but we can't create microcirculation. And what we have here is the ability to penetrate that microcirculation and make a real difference. So the Kronuit, especially for me, it's been huge, because I was born with chronic inflammation, and that really affects you. Not only does it birth disease and illness and all that, but it's very painful. And I used to have a lot of trouble sleeping at night because I would toss and turn and my joints were constantly inflamed. And it was always an issue for me. So when they said that, like that we have the ability to penetrate and target that microcirculation, it's so true. And I know that from experience completely. I've been on these products for about 1.5 years now, and they've been completely life-changing and transformative for me. And anybody on this line, if you're already taking them, I'm sure you understand exactly what we're talking about here. But that is the whole basic principle of it, that normal products that you're going to buy from a vitamin shop or these probiotics that you're going to take, they're not going to have the same efficacy and value that our formulas here at Sankey have. And it's because we do have that nanotechnology and the ability to go in right into the cell and get the job done, do exactly what we need to do. And I think that's so important. So definitely you guys need to start taking these products if you haven't already, and build your own testimonial. Be able to, sell it back to your people, your prospects, your family, your loved ones, because what we're doing here, what the goal is, the mission at the end of the day is to change lives, to heal lives, and to make a true difference. So thank you so much, Dr. Adea, and thank you, Mr. Alejandro Lopez-Tello. You guys were absolutely incredible. And Mr. Avita, if you could please pull up the promotion, I'll go ahead and let everybody know. All right, thank you. Okay, guys, so tonight is this special we're going to be running for tonight only, special edition for the call. When you go ahead and purchase 125 points, which is going to be 5 products, we're going to go ahead and give you 3 Kronuit Fire for free. So you could either retail them, make money off them, take them, give them out as Christmas gifts, do whatever you got to do, but you got to get these products out there. It's so important. Everything we're doing here is huge, and every voice on this line matters. So definitely go ahead and share with whoever you possibly can. Like I said earlier in the chat, we are going to be breaking up this video and sharing clips that you guys can share with your prospects. You can rewatch for your own knowledge, your own education. But we're going to definitely do that. And you guys definitely need to monopolize on these products tonight, because the promotion is going to end by midnight Central. So you only have a few hours to jump on this now. But thank you guys so much. Thank you for being here, and I hope you have a great night.